A man comes to a park while talking on the phone and drops his wallet. A flower-selling girl notices the wallet. She puts her flowers aside and picks up the wallet. There is a lot of money in it. She runs after the man, but the man enters his house. The girl runs toward his house and goes inside. The girl knocks on the door, holding the wallet. The girl says, "I want to meet your owner." The maid says, "He is not at home. If you have any work, then tell me." The girl says, "I want to talk to him." The maid says, "What are you hiding?" Meanwhile, the owner is watching all this from upstairs. Another maid also arrives. The maid snatches the wallet from the girl. The owner is watching this scene. The girl leaves from there. Both maids become happy and divide the money among themselves. The owner asks, "Who was it?" One maid says, "It was a beggar." The owner says, "Tell me the whole truth. What is the matter?" The maid says, "We are not lying." The owner says, "If anything is hidden from me, then no one will be worse than me." The maid says, "Why would we betray you?" The owner goes outside and says, "You are cheaters." The flower-selling girl comes back and looks at her flowers and becomes worried. She keeps calling out to sell flowers in the park. She goes to a woman and says, "Please take these flowers." The woman says, "I do not need them." The girl gets tired and sits on a bench. She is very worried. The same man who dropped the wallet comes and sits beside her. The man says, "Why are you worried?" The girl says, "Since morning, not even a single flower has been sold." The man says, "I dropped the wallet on purpose, and when you came to return it to my house, I was watching everything from the upper floor." The girl says, "My mother is very ill, and I do not have money." The man says, "I will help you, because you are an honest girl." The man gives the girl some money and says, "Use this money for your mother's treatment." The girl says, "Thank you very much. You have done a great favor to me." The man whispers something in the girl's ear, and the girl nods. Inside the house, the maids are happily counting money. One maid says, "All my dreams will be fulfilled with this money." The other maid also starts collecting money. The owner is watching all this hiding behind a tree. One maid runs toward the door and seeing the girl says, "Why have you come here now?" The girl shows the money. The maid says, "What should be done with this money?" The girl says, "Give this money to your owner." The maids take the money. The girl again says, "You must give this money to your owner." The maids again become happy seeing the money. At the same time, the owner opens the door and the girl is also with him. Hearing the owner's voice, the maids get worried. One maid says, "Why did you bring this girl?" The owner says, "I have come to know the truth about you people." The maid says, "What truth?" The owner says, "This girl had come earlier to return the money and you people hid it, and this time also you hid the money. I have come to know about your honesty." One maid says, "This girl is lying." The owner says, "I do not need explanations. I do not need maids like you. Leave my house." The maids start crying. The owner says, "Now there is no need. You people leave." The owner opens the door and the maids return the money and leave. Later, the man is eating food with the girl. He says to the girl, "I live alone and you seem to be the most honest girl to me. Will you marry me?" The girl agrees to marry and both live happily. Honesty is the best policy. If you like our video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.